That jar of honey sitting in your kitchen right now might be filled with corn syrup. Every year, Americans consume over 600 million pounds of honey, and a huge chunk of what you find on store shelves contains zero actual honey. Today, we are exposing the 10 worst brands and showing you exactly how to find the real stuff. Number 10 is Berry Hill, sold at Aldi stores across the country. Testing has shown this brand is ultra-filtered beyond acceptable standards. Investigations have linked it to syrup additives and antibiotic contamination in imports. German and European Union tests have flagged serious concerns about products in this price category from similar sources. Number 9 is Member's Mark, the brand you find at Sam's Club warehouses. Studies of big box store honey found that 77% of samples from stores like Sam's Club lacked any detectable pollen. This indicates heavy overfiltration. The honey often comes from high-risk countries like India and Vietnam, where contamination with pesticides and other substances poses additional concerns. Number 8 is Signature Select from Safeway and Albertsons stores. Lab reports have found zero pollen in this brand, despite labels claiming the product is raw or unfiltered. Those claims violate state regulations in places like Florida where pollen presence is legally required. Testing has also raised questions about potential syrup blending in some batches. Number 7 is Billy B. This brand shows glucose to fructose ratios that are inconsistent with pure honey. Those inconsistencies suggest blending with corn or rice syrups. Although the packaging implies Canadian origin, much of the honey is sourced from Asia. Lawsuits have challenged the misleading labeling. You can find Billy B at Walmart and many grocery chains throughout the country. Number 6 is Good & Gather, the Target store brand. Testing has shown this honey is ultra-filtered, far beyond normal standards. The filtration removes pollen and strips away many beneficial compounds. Concerns have also been raised about impure imports being used in production. You will find Good & Gather at Target locations nationwide. We are halfway through the list, 5 more brands to go. Number 5 is Trader Joe's Manuka Honey. Class action lawsuits have alleged that despite labels claiming 100% Manuka honey, testing revealed only 57 to 63% Manuka pollen in the product. The extremely low price point compared to authenticated Manuka honey raised additional red flags. Real Manuka honey from New Zealand typically costs significantly more and comes with UMF or MGO ratings that verify its antibacterial strength. Number 4 is Nature Nates. This brand has faced lawsuits alleging that despite marketing itself as raw honey, the product shows signs of serious overheating. Testing found HMF levels as high as 232 milligrams per kilogram. HMF stands for hydroxymethylfurfuryl, a compound that forms when honey is heated too much. International standards limit HMF to 40 milligrams per kilogram. High HMF indicates that the enzymes giving honey its health benefits have been destroyed. You can find Nature Nates at major retailers like Target and on Amazon. Let me explain why HMF matters so much. When honey is heated above 118 degrees Fahrenheit, the sugars start breaking down and forming hydroxymethylfurfuryl. Small amounts occur naturally in all honey and increase as honey ages. But extremely high levels indicate the honey was overheated during processing, likely to prevent crystallization or to make ultrafiltration easier. That overheating destroys diastase and other enzymes. It reduces the antioxidant content. It basically turns honey into expensive sugar syrup with none of the benefits you paid for. Number 3 is Kroger Pure Honey. Lab testing has shown elevated HMF levels, indicating excessive heat treatment. Analysis has found no detectable pollen, suggesting ultrafiltration. Class action lawsuits have made allegations about syrup dilution in this private label brand. You will find it at Kroger stores and their affiliated chains across the country. Number 2 is Sue Bee, one of the most widely distributed honey brands in America. This brand has been linked to antibiotic contamination, including chloramphenicol, a substance banned in food products in the United States because of health risks. Testing has shown the honey is ultra-filtered, with no pollen detected. FDA alerts have flagged concerns about Asian imports with additives. You can find sous vide at supermarkets like Kroger and many online retailers. Chloramphenicol deserves special attention here. This antibiotic can cause a rare but serious blood disorder called aplastic anemia. The FDA banned its use in food-producing animals in the United States decades ago. When it shows up in imported honey, that indicates the honey came from bees that were treated with banned antibiotics, possibly to mask poor hive health or unsanitary conditions. This is exactly the kind of contamination that honey laundering is designed to hide. Number 1 on our list is Great Value, the Walmart store brand. Testing has repeatedly shown this honey is ultra-filtered with zero detectable pollen. HMF levels around 22 milligrams per kilogram indicate overheating. Lawsuits have questioned whether products labeled as raw were actually raw. Investigations have raised concerns about potential blending with corn or rice syrup. Given that Walmart is the largest grocery retailer in the country, this brand reaches more American households than almost any other. It is available at Walmart stores nationwide. These 10 brands share common problems. Ultrafiltration that removes pollen and health benefits. Overheating that destroys enzymes. Potential adulteration with cheap syrups. Questionable sourcing from countries with high fraud rates. Misleading labels that claim raw or pure when testing suggests otherwise. So how do companies get away with this? The United States has no federal standard of identity for honey. The USDA grades honey based on moisture content, flavor, clarity, and visible defects. Grade A requires at least 90 points on their scoring system, but none of those criteria measure purity. The FDA prohibits adulteration under the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act, but enforcement happens mostly through import alerts and occasional sampling. Domestic products get even less scrutiny. Companies know the odds of getting caught are low. Testing for adulteration requires expensive laboratory equipment that most consumers cannot access. Different methods catch different types of fraud. Isotopic ratio mass spectrometry can identify when corn or cane syrups have been added. It found 12.1% of samples positive in recent testing. Nuclear magnetic resonance profiling can detect spectral anomalies indicating adulteration. It caught 6.3%. Liquid chromatography methods detected 6.2 to 7.3%, depending on the specific technique used. Enzyme tests found between 0.6 and 4.9%. Each method has blind spots, and sophisticated fraudsters are constantly developing new ways to evade detection. You might have seen home tests for honey purity floating around the internet. The water test claims that real honey sinks and fake honey dissolves. The thumb test suggests real honey stays in a blob while fake honey runs. The flame test proposes that real honey caramelizes while fake honey foams. Experts have debunked all of these. Some pure honeys fail these tests. Some adulterated honeys pass them. Home testing simply cannot replace laboratory analysis. Let me show you how to actually find real honey. Sourcing matters more than testing. Here is what to look for. Buy from local beekeepers whenever possible. Farmers markets, co-ops, and websites like localharvest.org connect you directly with people who keep their own hives. These producers have no incentive to adulterate their product. You can often visit the apiary yourself. The honey retains all its pollen and enzymes because it travels a short distance from hive to table. The United States has around 1.5 million managed bee colonies, and many of those beekeepers sell directly to consumers. Look for certifications that actually mean something. True Source Certified Honey traces the entire supply chain and tests for adulteration. You can verify products at their website. USDA organic certification means no synthetic pesticides were used, though this honey is often imported. For Manuka honey specifically, look for UMF or MGO ratings from New Zealand certifiers. These measure the actual antibacterial strength and verify authenticity. Non-GMO project. Verified products avoid corn-derived adulterants. Check the label carefully. Real honey should list one ingredient: honey. If you see added sweeteners, corn syrup, or glucose listed, put it back on the shelf. Look for language like raw, which means unheated, and unfiltered, which means the pollen is still present. The origin matters too. Product of USA generally indicates domestic sourcing with better traceability. Vague language about blending or multiple countries of origin raises concerns. Be suspicious of extremely low prices. Real honey costs between $5 and $10 per pound to produce, sometimes more for specialty varieties. If you are seeing prices of $1 or $2 per pound, that honey almost certainly contains significant amounts of cheap syrup. The economics simply do not work otherwise. Real beekeepers cannot compete with fraudsters selling sugar water at a markup. Look at the honey itself. Authentic honey is often cloudy rather than crystal clear. Cloudiness indicates pollen and other natural particles are still present. Real honey crystallizes over time. This is natural and actually indicates authenticity. Ultra-filtered and adulterated products stay liquid indefinitely because the seed crystals have been removed. The aroma should smell distinctly floral. Generic sweetness with no complex notes suggests processing or adulteration. The stakes here go beyond just getting what you paid for. Adulterated honey poses real health risks. Syrups spike blood sugar without providing any of the prebiotic benefits real honey offers. Antibiotic contamination contributes to the growing crisis of antibiotic-resistant bacteria. Pesticide residues like glyphosate have been found even in some organic products. People seeking honey's medicinal benefits for sore throats or wound care get zero therapeutic value from processed sugar blends. The economic damage hits American beekeepers hard. Cheap, fraudulent imports drive down prices, making it increasingly difficult for domestic producers to survive. Colony losses have reached catastrophic levels, with 60% losses recorded in some areas during 2022 and 2023. When beekeepers cannot make a living, they stop keeping bees. That threatens $18 billion worth of pollination services that American agriculture depends on. Almonds, apples, blueberries, and dozens of other crops require bee pollination. 80% of the almond supply comes from California orchards pollinated by commercial beekeepers. Environmental impacts ripple outward from there. Supporting cheap, adulterated imports discourages the sustainable beekeeping practices that maintain healthy pollinator populations. Colony collapse disorder, pesticide exposure, habitat loss, and climate change already stress bee populations. Economic pressure from fraudulent competition makes everything worse. Some progress is happening on the regulatory front. States like Florida and California now require pollen in products labeled as honey. The Hive Act has been proposed in Congress to create stronger federal standards. Blockchain traceability systems like HoneyTrace are being developed to follow honey from hive to store shelf. FDA import alerts flag high-risk shipments for additional testing, but enforcement remains inconsistent and domestic products receive minimal oversight. Here is what you can do right now. Stop buying the brands on our list until they demonstrate improved practices. Seek out local beekeepers in your area and build relationships with them. Pay attention to certifications like True Source Certified that actually verify authenticity. Accept that real honey costs more than fake honey and adjust your budget accordingly. Talk to your grocery store manager about sourcing policies. Consider writing to your congressional representatives in support of stronger honey standards. Every purchasing decision either supports honest beekeepers or rewards fraudsters. The honey industry reflects larger problems in our food system. Global supply chains prioritize low prices over quality and authenticity. Weak regulations allow bad actors to profit while honest producers struggle. Consumers bear the burden of investigating every product they buy. But informed choices make a real difference. When enough people demand authentic honey and refuse to buy adulterated products, the market shifts. Retailers respond to customer pressure. Importers face consequences for fraud. Local beekeepers gain loyal customers. Real honey is one of nature's most remarkable substances. Bees work their entire lives to produce it. The enzymes, the pollen, the unique compounds from different flower sources, these things cannot be replicated in a factory. When you find authentic honey from a trustworthy source, you are getting a product worth every penny. Choose carefully, buy local when you can, and demand real honey. The bees, the beekeepers, and your own health will all benefit from that decision.